Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys could replace Mike McCarthy with defensive-minded leader. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy is in the final year of his contract, and even though the Cowboys are riding high on a Week 4 win over rivals the New York Giants, there's still talk about who could be a McCarthy replacement if Jerry Jones thinks it's time for a change. While Bill Belichick's name has been at the top of the tongues of some NFL analysts, a new possibility is emerging, and this guy is winning with defense. In a September 26 feature for Sporting News, Bill Bender discusses some coaching candidates to take McCarthy's place with the Cowboys. One of the more interesting ones is Brian Flores, the Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator. The Vikings are 4-0 going into Week 5, and their stellar record is putting Flores in the spotlight. Flores was with the Steelers in 2022 and has emerged as one of the hottest coordinators for his work with the Vikings this season, Bender noted. Elsewhere, he noted, it could work with Dallas if Jones wants a defensive-minded leader. Other NFL analysts are also noting Flores' attention, with ESPN NFL reporter Dan Graziano saying he's the buzziest name among coordinators hoping to become a head coach after this season. On performance alone, he's unassailable, Graziano wrote. The Vikings have allowed a total of 30 points this season to the Giants, 49ers, and Texans, and Flores is drawing raves for the way he disguises pressures and confuses quarterbacks. It started last season in Minnesota, but the players are executing it at a much higher level in year 2 of the system. Graziano added, the question with Flores as a head coaching candidate is, of course, that he still has a pending lawsuit against the NFL alleging racial discrimination in the league's hiring practices. Flores gets more praise in a September 29 feature in Vikings territory, where Adam New noted that following the Vikings win over the Texans in Week 3, there was talk of the Vikings being one of the best coached teams in the league, of O'Connell and Flores being the best offensive and defensive play-caller duo in the league, and even of Flores' stock rising in league circles that another chance at a head coaching gig could be on the horizon. Denver Broncos head coach Sean Payton served as an offensive assistant for the Cowboys from 2003 to 2005, so he has some history with the team. Payton is a consistent winner with a .617 winning percentage between stints with New Orleans, where he won Super Bowl 44, and Denver, where he is working with first-round pick Bo Nix, Bender wrote. A move like this would likely require trading draft picks, given Payton seems to have Denver on the right path. Would Jones and Payton work out? Jones has been outward in his praise for Payton, and if the timing is right, it would be worth it. Other candidates from the NFL Bender talks up include Texans offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick, Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, and Commanders offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, but he notes the latter is more of a long shot given the other candidates on this list. He also names some college options in USC coach Lincoln Riley and Georgia coach Kirby Smart. Report, Cowboys plan to put DeMarcus Lawrence on IR, player workouts to follow. Getting back to an even 2-2 record was important for the Dallas Cowboys against the New York Giants last week. However, it came at the cost of losing their star defensive ends, Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. While Parsons is still listed as week-to-week with a high ankle sprain, Lawrence's injury is more severe. He is dealing with a Lisfranc injury to his right foot, but because the bones were not displaced, he will not require surgery. Lawrence has dealt with injuries to his feet in the past. David Moore of the Dallas Morning News says the Cowboys plan to put Lawrence on injured reserve in the coming days. After that, they will elevate Carl Lawson from the practice squad for his third and final elevation before he has to be a member of the active roster to play after Week 5. The team will also host player workouts from outside free agents. Parsons may not need the same 4 to 8 week recovery timeline as Lawrence, but on Monday, both pass rushers were seen in walking boots and riding scooters around the team facility. Expecting Parsons to be ready to face the Pittsburgh Steelers would be wishful thinking, but having him on the field to face the San Francisco 49ers is more realistic. Either way, the Cowboys will be tasked with pushing a giant rock up the hill in this current situation. Lawson, former third-round pick Chauncey Golston, and rookie Marshawn Kneyland will be first in line to be the starters this weekend in Pittsburgh. Kneyland has shown flashes in limited opportunities, but with Dallas already relying so heavily on their rookie class, it could be a lot to ask from Kneyland. We will have to wait and see which players the Cowboys bring in for a workout this week. However, the current free agent pass rushers do not inspire much confidence. Two potential names the team could consider are Shaq Lawson and Anthony Barr. Barr spent the 2022 season with Dallas and has experience playing for Mike Zimmer when they were with the Minnesota Vikings. Barr is not your traditional defensive end prototype, more of an outside linebacker, but he was a productive pass rusher under Zimmer. They are not players who could excite the fan base, but at this point, it is about doing the most with what Dallas has at their disposal. Micah Parsons has sad admission about his injury. Dallas Cowboys pass rusher Micah Parsons is likely to miss only the second game of his NFL career in Week 5, and it is certainly weighing on him. Even going all the way back to Pop Warner level, Parsons has never missed a game due to a physical injury. He missed one game in Week 18 of the 2021 season after landing on the reserve/COVID-19 list, but has otherwise been an ever-present figure on the field. He admitted Monday that the thought of missing even one game is enough for him to feel like he is letting people down. "It's just frustrating for real," Parsons said, via Garrett Podale of CBS Sports. "I put a lot of effort and energy into being ready for the team, so it hurts me. I feel like I'm letting people down. I kind of thought of myself as being invincible for a while. It's humbling. It's humbling. It's part of that test. Faith, keeping that faith alive. Come back strong. It probably makes sense to some, but when you're a real competitor, like I said, you only get 17 chances at this, and missing one of these opportunities to perform at the highest level bothers me. I feel like I want to play on Sunday. I want to play. If I can play, I will play. As long as I can run and move how I move, I want to play." Parsons suffered a high ankle sprain last Thursday in the Cowboys' 20-15 win over the New York Giants at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. He is viewed as highly unlikely to play in Week 5, and there has even been some talk that the team might be cautious and sit him out for 2 weeks until their bye. By his own lofty standards, Parsons is off to a slow start to 2024, with just 1 sack in 4 games. He had 14 of them last year and entered the season with 40.5 sacks in 50 career games. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Micah Parsons? Leave your opinion in the comments.